Hello YouTube, this is Corbin22 here, back with another 100 point squadron build for Star Wars X-Wing Miniatures. For tonight's build, I've decided to remake an old build that I encountered during my first tournament that completely annihilated me. Now that I have the upgrades and ship cards necessary to do with this build, I've not only remade the build, I believe I may have made it even better than it was when the guy I faced killed me with it. This build took me out within 4 rounds. I am not joking. The ships we have in question are an RZ-1 A-Wing Interceptor piloted by Jake Farrell, a BTL, a Quansar BTL Y-Wing Fighter Bomber piloted by Dr. Vander, and a B-Wing Assault Fighter piloted by Nera Dantels. The way this build works is kind of like a divide and conquer. Jake Farrell is going to be off doing his own thing, flying around and attacking from a different angle. Dr. Vander and Nera Dantels are going to be sticking together. Because they're bombers and, well, they do better. They're slow and clunky, and they would be perfect together. And yeah, with the upgrades I've given these guys, then Nera Dantels and Dutch Vander will take advantage of each other's. Dutch Vander will take advantage of his ability because he'll always be close to Nera Dantels, and then Jake Farrell, he'll be off doing his own thing, take advantage of his own ability and his upgrades. So here are the ships and the pilots. Let's look at the build. So it's a pretty extensive build. Most of the upgrades have gone to the B-Wing for obvious reasons. She's going to be the one doing all the major attacking. Dutch Vander is mainly just there for support. And Jake Farrell is going to be off either fighting someone else or attacking the same ship that Nera has at a different angle. So we'll start with the lone wolf for the build, the squadron leader. And that is Jake Farrell. He has a pilot skill of 7. He flies the RZ-1 A-Wing Interceptor. He has an attack value of 2, an agility value of 3, a hull value of 2, and a shield value of 2. He can take on the Focus, Lock-On, Boost, and Evade actions. He costs 24 squadron points, and is able to take on an Elite Pilot skill upgrade and a Missile upgrade. And his ability states, after you perform a Focus action or are assigned a Focus token, you may perform a free Boost or Barrel Roll action. So Jake Farrell's biggest advantage is he's able to take an action after he does a Focus. And so yeah, basically he's allowed to perform 2 actions, one of them not being part of his action bar, so that's even better. It'll help with the surprise attack. And the upgrades I've given him are as such. For his title card, I've chosen to give him an A-Wing Test Pilot. It states, your upgrade bar gains one pilot skill upgrade icon. If you cannot equip 2 of the same elite pilot skill upgrade cards, and you cannot equip this card if your pilot skill value is 1 or lower. Thankfully, Jake Farrell has a pilot skill of 7, so that negates that. So with this allows you to take on 2 different elite pilot skills. Plain and simple. For his missile, I've chosen to do a Chardaan Refit, as I always do with the A-Wings, because it's just that awesome. Has a negative squadron cost point, so it reduces Jake Farrell's squadron point cost to 22. For his first elite pilot skill, I've chosen Lone Wolf, and it states, if I can get its focus, when attacking or defending, if there are no other friendly ships at range 1 to 2, you may reroll one of your blank results. So this is perfect for Jake because he's going to be he's going to be the one that's flying around near the outside, probably issuing going through a patrol, so to speak. And of course he'll always be at range 3 of his allies, which allow him to take full advantage of his lone wolf ability. And then for his second ability, I've chosen a classic, and that is Push the Limit. And it states, once per round after you perform an action, you may perform 1 free action shown in your action bar, and then receive a stress token. So this allows Jake Farrell to take 3 actions. Because of his ability. So you take a Focus, which gives him that free booster barrel, and then you can choose Push the Limit to do either another a target lock, a boost, or another evade. And that'll stress him out, but the A-Wing has lots of green maneuvers, so getting rid of the stress won't be much of a problem. Now let's move on to the support ship. Now, there's the other 2 here, and we'll move on to the support ship first. And that is piloted by Dutch Vander. He has a pilot skill of 6. He flies the Quansar BTL Y-Wing Fighter. He has an attack value of 2, an agility value of 1, a hull value of 5, and a shield value of 3. He can take on the Focus and Lock-On actions, cost 23 squadron points, and is able to take on a turret upgrade, 2 warhead upgrades, and an astromech upgrade. His ability states, after acquiring a target lock, choose another friendly ship at range 1 to 2. The chosen ship may immediately acquire a target lock. So Dutch Vander's good because when he requires a target lock, the ship next to him will also require a target lock. So it allows for a 2-pronged assault, so to speak. Playing it pretty simple. For his turret upgrade, I've chosen an ion cannon turret which has an attack value of 3 and can be used at range 1 to 2. It states, attack one ship, even a ship outside your firing arc. If this attack hits, the target ship suffers 1 damage and receives 1 ion token, then cancel all dice results. So ion cannon, he's going to be using this a lot in order to help get his partner get into a better firing arc, better firing position to use her attack. And then for his astromech, I've chosen R5D8. It's a droid that must be used during the action phase. Hold on a second. Can I get this to focus? No? What if I do this? There we go. And it states, roll 1 defense die on the action phase. On a focus or evade result, discard 1 of your face down damage cards. So this is good. You're probably going to be using this a lot when Dutch Vander loses his shields, which might be fairly early on in the game because Dutch Vander only has 3 shields, but he has 5 hull. So he'll be able to sustain a few hits, and then you can keep using R5D8 to repair those hits. And also, of course, you'll have an ion cannon turret to help for covering damage. And if you're lucky, you'll be able to keep attacking them while they drift past you because you're disabled. Now I move on to the heavy assault ship of the build. That is Nera Dantels. She has a pilot skill of 5. She flies the B-Wing Heavy Assault Fighter. She has an attack value of 3, an agility value of 1, a hull value of 3, and a shield value of 5. She can take on the focus, lock-on, and barrel roll actions. She costs 26 squadron points. And she's able to take on an elite pilot skill upgrade, a systems upgrade, a cannon upgrade, and 2 warheads. Her ability states, you can perform warhead secondary weapon attacks outside against enemy ships outside your fire arc. So Nera Dantels basically treat all of her warheads as if they were turrets. You can fire outside your firing arc as long as they are within range, which is awesome. And for the build I've chosen, or rather the build that I was faced against, which I feel I've done better with. For a title card, her modification, I've chosen the B-Wing E2, which states your upgrade bar gains the crew slot upgrade icon. This is a crucial card for replicating this build, and here's why. With the crew upgrade added to my upgrade bar, I've chosen a Recon Specialist, which states when you perform a focus action, you can assign 1 additional focus token to your ship. So that means with the Recon Specialist, if you take a focus action, you take 2 focus actions, so to speak. You would take an action, and then you assign a second one. And then I've chosen to give her Deadeye. Deadeye states, you may treat attack target lock as attack header focus. When an attack instructs you to spend a target lock, you may spend a focus token instead. Again, this is pretty damn good for it's good for getting the drop on your enemy because instead of having to use a target lock for your secondaries, you can use a focus token instead, which is something you'd probably do for a blaster turret or a ship ability. For her systems, I've chosen an Advanced Sensors, which states immediately before you reveal your maneuver, you may perform 1 free action. If you use this ability, you must skip your perform action step during this round. This is great if you're planning to do a red maneuver, because you'll be able to do your action before you move. It states as a free action, but that means you won't be able to do an action after you move, which is fine. You do your Advanced Sensors, you take your Recon Specialist armed focus action, which gets you 2 focuses, and then you perform your Sharp 1, Soft 3, or your K-Turn 2 maneuvers to get into a firing range. And then for her first upgrade, warhead, I've chosen Extra Munitions, which states when you equip this card, place 1 ordnance token on each equipped warhead, missile, and bomb upgrade card. When you are instructed to discard an upgrade card, you may discard 1 ordnance token on that card instead. So this basically allows you to carry 2 of the same warhead or missile, which is great for the torpedoes I've chosen. And they are Advanced Proton Torpedoes. They have a attack value of 5, can only be used at range 1. It states, attack. Spend your target lock and discard this card to perform this attack. You may change up to 3 of your blank results to focus results. So this is why this card, plus all the other, plus Extra Munitions, Deadeye, and Recon Specialist, and B-Wing E2, make this an extremely dangerous weapon. Nera Dantels states that she can perform attacks outside her firing arc as long as she's using a warhead. That means regardless where the enemy ship is positioned against her, as long as they're at range 1, you can attack with your advanced torpedoes. Deadeye allows you to spend 1 of your Recon Specialists, lets you gain 2 focuses. Deadeye allows you to spend 1 of those focuses as a target lock to use your torpedoes. You get up to 3 blanks. You can use the ability of the advanced torpedoes to change those into focuses, and then spend your second focus token to change those focuses into hits. If you still have one or two blanks remaining, that's where Dutch Vander's ability comes in. Because by then, Dutch Vander will acquire a target lock, so Nera Dantels will also have a target lock. You can spend that target lock to change your remaining blanks, or you can take your remaining blanks and re-roll them for maximum damage. I've used this build. I used this ship twice against my enemy, my roommate's Z95 Headhunter, and each time I used it, I one-shotted his Z95. It was just that lethal. Then again, the Z95 is really meant to be used on their own. They're meant to be a swarming ship, so there's that. Anyway, yeah, this will be my Rebel Divide and Conquer build. Its advantages are, again, it's a mix between teamwork and dividing and conquering. The A-Wing is going to be the lone wolf who's going to be going off on his own and doing his patrol and hitting enemies from outside the firing arcs. Dutch Vander and Nera Dantels are going to be staying together most of the time, with Nera Dantels taking advantage of Dutch Vander's ability, plus her Recon specialist allowing her to take two focuses. And of course, the advanced torpedo, her ability allowing her to attack with warheads outside her firing arc. Extra munitions gets her an extra advanced torpedo, and advanced sensors lets her take an action before she moves. Disadvantages. I guess the only besides the obvious being the A-Wing having low HP, and the B-Wing and Y-Wing having low agility values. I would say their biggest disadvantage is if the Y-Wing goes down, it kind of reduces Nera Dantels' effectiveness. But again, Nera Dantels is one of those guys, she can kind of work fine on her own because of her ability plus the upgrades I've given her. So there's not really much I can say for weaknesses. I mean, this is a pretty solid build. And plus Dutch Vander will also have R5D8 to repair his hull and an ion cannon turret to disable enemy ships and stop them from attacking him even further. Other than that, I really don't see that much of a weakness with this build. Yeah, so anyway, this is my Rebel Divide and Conquer build. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Any constructive criticism is greatly appreciated. If you like, you may use this build for any competitive or casual play, or if you want, you can tweak it and revamp it to your own specifications. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Corbin22, signing off.